Over the years, I've been with a lot of people in the kitchen, and if I give them the opportunity to cook vegetables, I guarantee to you that 9 out of 10 will do it wrong. Are you cooking vegetables the wrong way? Well, we're going to find out in just a moment. Welcome to All Things Food with John Woods. I love to cook, but I cook to love. So let's talk food. Sometimes even experienced chefs and cooks don't prepare vegetables the right way. Recently, I was helping out at a country club, and the chef asked me the question, why are your vegetables so crisp and beautiful and flavorful, and mine are so limp and greasy? So I said, show me how you're cooking your vegetables. And he was making the mistakes that many people are making today. And I'm going to show you what those mistakes are. The first mistake is consistency of cutting means consistency of cooking. So when you cut your vegetables, try to get them as consistently sized as possible. We don't want to have a big vegetable cooking with a small vegetable, so we need consistency in our cutting. The second thing that many people do is they try to cook in a cold skillet with cold oil. So here's what a lot of people will do, and you may do this yourself. They put the oil in, they swirl it around in the pan, then they take their vegetables, put it in the skillet, then they turn their skillet on, and they're hoping that these vegetables are going to cook properly. They're in a cold skillet, they're in cold oil. What's going to happen? They're going to become greasy, they're not going to caramelize properly, and they're going to be very inferior and very tasteless. So we don't want to do this. What we want to do is properly heat our skillet and then properly heat the oil. So if this is one of the things that you're doing, putting vegetables into a cold skillet with cold oil, you may want to change your ways, and I think you'll be happy that you did. The other thing that people do that's always a killer for vegetables is they salt and season at the wrong time. They'll put the seasoning in or the salt early in the cooking process. Well, what happens is that salt draws moisture out of the vegetables, and they become limp and very soggy. So that's mistake number 3. Let me show you the proper way to cook vegetables. So here we have the vegetables. They were put in a cold skillet with cold oil, and they're actually beginning to caramelize a little bit, but by the time they caramelize, they're getting very soft and mushy, and they have a lot of oil on those. I'm going to take those over here, just put them on the side here, and we're going to compare them in just a few moments with some cooked the proper way. So our skillet's good and hot right now, and I think we're good to go to add some other vegetables to it. So it's properly heated skillet, properly heated oil. We're going to use the squash again. Throw it in there, and then you can hear the sizzle in the skillet, which is a good thing. Always listen for the sizzle. And those vegetables are already starting to cook. I'm going to spread them out a little, get a little more oil on them. But we're going to let those cook for a minute or two. And then we're going to salt them right at the very end. Salt and pepper right at the very end. So while those are cooking, let's come over here and look at these vegetables that we just pulled out of the skillet. They're very soft and mushy. A lot of oil on them. And that's exactly what we don't want. And that's the way many people cook their vegetables, and that's the way they look. And so we're wanting to get away from that particular poor method of cooking. So these vegetables cooked in the hot skillet are caramelizing quite nicely, and they look really nice. I'm going to take my salt here right at the very end, put on them. Take a little pepper over here, sprinkle on there, and I think they're good to go. Quite good. They're nice and firm, yet they're done, and they're caramelized, nice golden brown color, which is going to give us a little more flavor, and they're not near as greasy as the other ones. Let me tell you one other fault that sometimes we have when we cook vegetables. Either we use too much oil. I've seen people just pour a lot of oil in, or not enough. So you got to find out where that fine balance is and use the proper amount of oil, because you don't want your vegetables swimming in oil, but you need enough fat in the skillet in order to caramelize and brown everything properly. Now, I've already tasted one of these and they're quite mushy and really are lacking flavor. These here, we'll try, those are firm. There's a big difference when I stuck the fork in. I felt a little tension there, resistance, but I know that they're done. Caramelization is good, the flavor is really good, the salt's perfect. So next time you cook vegetables, abandon that old method. Abandon the cold skillet, the cold oil, and seasoning too early, and use this method of heating up your skillet properly, heating up your fat properly, listening for the sizzle, and adding that seasoning right at the very end. I think you're going to be really happy and be pleased with the quality of your vegetables in the future. So thank you for watching today. I hope you learned something. If you did, reach down there and hit the like button. It's helpful. And reach over and hit the subscribe button. We need subscribers to keep this channel going. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week on All Things Food with John Woods.